Hello, everybody, and welcome to our IWC Radio podcast, episode 258, where we recap the events of the week in pro wrestling. Joining me this evening is everybody, believe it or not. Beans, Chucks, and Will, all here. How you guys doing?
Hello.
Yeah, there we go. I missed that.
Is that really you, Beans?
Alright.
Here we go again. Here we go again.
I get told that the best thing to do is just ignore bullies.
Be a star.
I'm just about to say be a star. Unless you're the Bellersling.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year, pal.
Did you all have a nice Christmas and a good New Year?
Depressing. Yeah, it was great. Christmas is always great. Yeah, that's the reaction you want.
I mean, Christmas. Christmas was fine, but like there's some events around here that kind of, not so great.
Giant hailstones.
No.
Murderous lobsters?
No.
Worth a shot. Will, wasn't you in hospital?
I was.
Is everything okay?
Huh? Still alive. Still here.
Yeah, but you might not have any legs or something. I don't know.
No, that's not
New
this
Year.
one.
That's good.
No, I told the guys on Wednesday, but yeah, you've been waiting around. So look, what did they?
Bloody hell.
Sorry. Yeah, apparently I've got high blood pressure, so it was more precautionary. Really, didn't want to let me out in case I keeled over or something. But
Oh, right. That's gone. I thought you were going to tell it was like some kind of routine thing.
No, well, I won't go into too much detail because Christmas Day, my eye went really blurry and I couldn't see properly. So I thought, yeah, this needs checked out. Went to A&E on the Boxing Day, and long story short, they kept me in for 4 days. And even though physically I felt fine, I just couldn't see properly.
Well,
But yeah,
you did the right thing.
I'm on all 5 different types of medication, and we're okay. We're getting there. So that was my Christmas.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There. Like I said, some stuff over here could have been better. I don't want to get into it on air, but yeah, it was. One certain thing could have been better. I could tell you after. But the Christmas itself.
I do apologise because I'm just like, you know,
Who's got some really personal stuff to talk about?
New Year, and I'm like, I'm just
Who's
making
got
everyone
the
have to make
worst
a
family
mission.
story?
Yeah.
How was your Christmas, Beans?
Yeah.
Was it
I'm
good?
going to go, it's alright, but now I feel like I need to say that it was the best Christmas I ever had.
Ed has joined us in the chat. He says, no one here is allowed to die. You're not far off to what happened on Christmas, or a little bit after it, actually, Ed.
Oh, God.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I thought I had a pen.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, also welcome. But yeah.
Right, so I do apologise for...
See what you did, Beans.
I know. I mean, like, God.
That's
Just so we know, if anyone is planning on dying, can we just let Ed know first, and then we can carry on.
What kind of time frame do you need, Ed? I can tell you it's going to happen, but I just can't tell you when.
Hashtag blame Beans even in a new decade. Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake, come on.
Finally comes back, and this is how he starts the show.
I know, shocking.
Oh my goodness.
All right, let's do this right.
Ah, there you go. I have a Coke cinnamon that I'm gonna open later because I'm
Cinnamon.
yeah.
That's different.
Yeah, it's a limited edition flavor and it's not great. I mean, it's not awful, but like the cinnamon flavor is barely there. I think Pepsi Fire.
I often find that's the case with a hell of a lot of things that are cinnamon flavored.
Yeah.
I always think, oh, cinnamon, I like this. And then when I have it, I'm like, I'm not really sure I can tell there's any like cinnamon flavor into it.
Yeah, it's either like super spicy or like really barely noticeable. And this one's like barely noticeable, if you ask me.
I'm not sure I'd want it to be noticeable. Cinnamon Coke doesn't sound... That's not something I would have put together.
No, not me. I wouldn't. Yeah. Speaking of Coke, I guess what I saw today in my local Poundland.
What did you see?
Vanilla Coke.
Yeah.
No way. What, like actual vanilla Coke or vanilla Coke Zero?
No, vanilla Coke.
You do realise that I can hear the car door of Chuck's now, like...
I nearly bought a can just to show he took, but I was in a rush, I couldn't. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
I find this impossible to believe, and yet I'm going to frantically Google vanilla Coke UK. Should I say Liverpool? No, let's do vanilla Coke UK.
I would imagine that most Poundlands have got it.
Head in the chat says Coke Cinnamon. Was this what happens when Coke and Cinnamon have a live sex celebration on Raw? Maybe. Speaking of Raw
Pepper.
and Dr. Pepper, yeah.
Pepsi to launch Coffee Cola in April 2020.
Piss off.
Coffee Cola?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I'll give it a call.
That's not going to be great.
Coffee, get out.
Do you know, I tried one of them, you know they do them Costa coffee cans?
Yeah.
It's just basically cold coffee in a tin.
Oh, I've seen them.
But I've seen people drink them, and it was in Boots, and it was like, you know, the meal deal thing where you get a drink. And I saw it, and I thought, actually, I'm just going to get one and see what it's like. I still do not fucking get it. It's just a cold drink of coffee. I thought there might have been something to it, or, you know, I don't know. But it is literally like I've just done a brew, left it go cold, put it in the fridge afterwards, and then fucking drank it later.
Yeah, I don't get iced tea either.
Yeah, I think it's in the same category, definitely.
I mean, there's also Lipton Brisk, I believe, which I have some here, which is in a can. I know that's like offensive to you people over there.
What, tea in a can?
Yeah.
Tea in a can.
You can get different flavours of iced tea now as well, can't you? Fruit flavours.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Vietnam.
Let's see here. Where should we even start? I guess Raw would be the place to go here. This is the one program that I did watch and I kind of regretted it. In fact, I think at the last half hour I like fell asleep, so I missed the actual wedding, but I caught up on social media of what I missed, and we'll get into that in just a sec here. But Raw started off with Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, AOP, and Samoa Joe all in a scuffle. A returning Samoa Joe who got beat up on the Christmas show last week at the desk, where he's just like, I'm not moving. I'm a commentator. I sit here. I don't move. And yeah, so now him and AOP have some beef along with Kevin Owens. Any thoughts on this? I should ask.
I didn't know any of that happened until 10 seconds ago.
Yeah, Beans is like 4 weeks behind, so forgive him.
Yeah, I do apologise. I'm probably not the best person to be giving analysis and thoughts on things that I've not seen.
Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy. Aleister Black won again. Eric Rowan defeated Kip Stevens. Not to be confused with Kip Sabian from AEW. Charlotte Flair.
Kip Sop.
Oh yeah, Kip Sop. The almost was it AEW Diamond Dozen Battle Royal winner.
Could have been.
He looked like he was Andre the Giant. Charlotte Flair defeated Natalya and declared for the Women's Royal Rumble match. So she's definitely going to be in the Women's Rumble.
Did anyone think she wasn't going to be in it?
That's a good.
Well, she even said that, right? It's like everyone knows I'm going to be in it. I'm just going to make it official.
Yeah.
She was either going to be in that or somehow involved in the title match, and probably be in both.
Yeah. For sure. Becky Lynch then came out and said that she would be defending her Raw Women's Championship against Asuka in the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Basically making a callback to when Asuka beat her months ago. And now,
Well, a year ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Last year at the Rumble.
At the Rumble, wasn't it?
And now Becky's trying to see if she still has it to even see if she can beat Asuka now. So some interesting storytelling with that one. Street Profits defeated the OC, because of course. McIntyre defeated Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins in a 2-on-1 handicap match. I think that's right around where I started falling asleep. I think around after the Street Profits and the Drew McIntyre match, I was just like, I am bored with this show. I'm just going to take a little nap here on the desk. AJ Styles confronted Randy Orton. This I didn't see because Orton apparently had an injury at a house show a couple days before this, and he came out and he was going to address his future and whatnot, and it was all a ploy to sucker AJ Styles in, who he was fighting at the house show. So
I don't know why they did this.
I don't know either.
Like, it was fine. What they did was good, I guess, but I don't really see what was achieved here.
I think I read something last week, and it's probably linked up to that. They want to make the house shows more relevant to what you see on TV, which is a good idea, I think. But so you had more chances at, like, Andrade won the title, didn't he?
Yeah.
At a house show, so you're going to see more things that are actually happen at the live events.
But this one was
Andrade won the title at a house show. What title?
The Universal. He beat Brock Lesnar.
Andrade won the United States title off of Rey Mysterio.
On a house show?
On a house show, yes. To be fair, it was in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, it was.
Of course, because, that's the only place where anything happens if it's a house show.
Well, apparently not. This is, I don't know where this idea's come from. Probably one of Vince's latest crazy ideas. But yeah, apparently we're going to start seeing more relevant things happen at live events now, and it'll get referenced on TV. Like, apparently the Orton injury was one of the first things, but then it got leaked out that it wasn't.
That didn't happen. He made it up.
Well, yeah.
I guess they're referencing house shows. That might be enough, but this one, it was a really long segment, and he came out with an injury. I thought, okay, this is one of those fake injuries. And then the more he talked about it, the more he did a really good job of pretending to be genuine. Because Randy Orton always does that Randy Orton promo, and I don't think I've ever heard him not sound like that. But he did a lot of ums and kind of, I really have to wonder if I'm coming back at all. I don't know. I'm starting to you've almost got me here. And then AJ came out, taunted him a bit, and RK out of nowhere. And now we're right back to where we were before.
Yeah.
It's an okay segment, but I don't know why.
Yeah. And also in the chat says, well, they always do something shocking at least at the MSG shows. It's the only MSG show that has booking developments, which, I mean, it's true, yeah.
True.
That is true.
Yeah, it just seems
They need
weird.
to do something. Sorry, go on.
It just seems weird that you would have a match with AJ Styles and Orton at a house show, and in a weird, like, seemingly like, I mean, it fooled people that Orton was like legit injured. And then announce an announcement of him on the show to make an announcement about his career, only to sucker AJ Styles back in, the person he was fighting at the house show. Makes
But sucker him in to hit an RKO.
Yeah.
Which is something that he does every week out of nowhere. That's his whole thing. He can hit you with that at any time.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to sucker you in.
Yeah. And honestly, like, Orton on Twitter is way more entertaining than him on TV.
Well,
he's lately, yeah.
He says some things on Twitch too.
Well, okay, I wouldn't go that far. Twitter, not Twitch. But yeah, you're right. After that, speaking of Andrade, he successfully, I think, defended. I don't know if this was a title match or not, but he's still champion afterwards from defeating Ricochet. And then the main event, the wedding of Lana and Bobby Lashley, which, honestly, when Will made the graphic for the show, Beans, your reaction makes a little bit more sense now, realizing that you're still kind of having to play catch-up. So, this started off pretty, well, just like all throughout the night, Lana was trying to invite people to the wedding, and nobody showed up. So he had like a stage full of empty chairs, which established that nobody likes Lana, unfortunately.
Do you know what? This is a bit of a controversial thought. I think I actually didn't mind this. It was a bit too long.
Yes,
but I didn't think this is what WWE's done for years. I didn't think it was that bad. Probably it went on a little bit too long than it should have done, but it probably shouldn't have been the last segment. But other than that, I didn't think it was too bad. Well, I'll take that back. It was bad, but it was supposed to be bad. What's the point?
But you shouldn't be making bad television. Because people, like, okay, the thing with, like, booking bad TV is people are going to, like, tune in, react, and then not tune in for the next week to see what happens. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, if people, like, smarten each other up, like, oh, man, there's a huge wedding that's going to happen. It's going to be awful. You got to tune in to see it. People will tune in. And you're just going to get like a short little spike in the ratings because they're not going to return the week prior or week after that. That's just my guess. I'm just saying that just seems like the common sense thing that people are going to have for this. Me personally, I'm going to probably keep watching Raw and maybe fall asleep during it until it gets better again, if it ever does. But yeah, people kept coming down. They had Lashley's first wife apparently come down and try to.
It wasn't Crystal.
Yeah, it wasn't Crystal Marshall. So I was disappointed in that. And then somebody else came out after that. Who was it here?
Lana's first husband, right? Or was that was first?
Yeah.
He was first, yeah.
Yeah, Lana's first husband. Nobody cared. I think Lashley laid him out.
Mm-hmm.
And then Liv Morgan, of all people, came down and, pleaded her heart, spilled her emotions out, saying that you were my first love.
And did anyone else see this one coming a mile off?
Yeah.
Not me,
when she didn't say the name.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see where this is going.
Yeah. Lashley was like, I've never touched this woman in my life. I don't know what you're talking about. And Liv was like, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about Lana.
Oh.
Yeah. And then
I was a bit surprised there was no signs of Bobby's sisters.
Yeah, they should have been in the seats. Yeah.
Come out with that military helmet on. Was it a military helmet?
I can't remember. Some kind of.
One of them had a towel or something that they tried.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah, they had a towel. Yeah, it was a helmet. It's true.
Yeah, and then Lashley was shocked, I believe, or bamboozled, and then Rusev came out of this giant wedding cake and started going after Lashley.
That was another thing that was so obvious. Someone was in there.
Yeah.
Just why would there be a massive human-sized cake in the ring?
Let's see if I can get a photo of this here. Yeah, we can kind of scroll through .com real quick. Yeah, this guy here, by the way, this guy was really good at his duties as a preacher guy. He's not a priest. He's not, priest. I mean, he's not like an actual priest or whatever, but he was really good. Oh, wait, microphones. Yep. Reading the vows.
Tell me he was an actor.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know about you, Will, but I don't think this wedding was on the up and up. Exactly.
Because they called Lana Lana. Well, we saw in the restraining order, her name is Catherine something Perry.
Yeah.
That's a point, yeah.
CJ Perry, I believe, yeah. Look at this shot right here. The entire top part of the cake is like vertical.
That's great.
Apparently there was actual cake on it. There was frosting all over the place. That was really weird.
Yeah, I think it goes to the next shot. That's where I stole the picture from before.
Why go through that much trouble for all this here? Yeah, there's the frosting and all that, yeah.
So it's both a fake cake and a real cake at the same time.
Yeah. Good luck cutting into that.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Wasn't Lana covered in the end?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she like smudged all of her makeup off on Lashley at one point. And also, this is the lead-in. Look at this shot here as well. And this was left out of the photo gallery, but this is what you, I guess, clickbait people with here. Well, fucking Rusev blinded with a cake in his eye there. Liv. That's the other thing. Why was Liv going after? Well, I guess because she felt jilted, I suppose. But still,
I thought Rusev was fine with the whole thing.
Yeah, if he was happy like being divorced and being like a Jose bud.
Yeah, well, he's been saying for weeks that he wants these guys to get married, so then he doesn't have to pay alimony anymore.
Right.
He's like, great, now she's Lashley's problem. This is awesome, and still he has to ruin the wedding. I don't know. Don't really get it.
Yeah. I'm just glancing at the chat and I see an all caps Ed saying, "Why bother putting chairs out there?" That's a good point.
Yeah, that's true. I
mean, they had to establish that Lana. Nobody gives a shit about Lana. Like that's pretty much the only reason I could think of. Yeah. It wasn't the greatest. A lot of people kind of aren't a fan of how they're using, I don't know, lesbianism as a ploy, as like a shock value, I guess.
Yeah, what's her name? Sonya Deville.
Yeah, Sonya Deville.
She wasn't very happy.
Yeah, she pitched it on Total Divas. Like, it was documented to, like, official. She pitched it to somebody, maybe Mark Carano, I don't know. I don't watch Total Divas anymore. Forgive me, unfortunately. But the filming was, like, several months back, and she pitched it to them, and they used the idea, but they used it for somebody else, which is...
She pitched the idea of what, like a surprise reveal?
I think so, yeah, or like a same-sex marriage of some sort.
Yeah.
You know?
They tried to do it like 15 years ago with Beth Phoenix and Mickie James, right?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
And then Beth got injured, so it never happened.
Yeah. And also, like, Sonya and Mandy kind of were teasing or hinting at a...
Looked like it might, it was going somewhere.
Yeah, like a same-sex sort of thing, which would have been great, but they kind of just dropped it. Out of nowhere. Like an RKO.
And Bayley and Sasha as well.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Yeah, sure. But yeah, that was Raw. A lot of people, like I said, weren't happy with it, panned it.
Still a lot of people slating Paul Heyman for the wedding segment
Yeah.
on Twitter.
I mean, he's like, what, a technical creative director of the show?
Something like that.
But the tweet I saw, I can't remember who it was, but someone was saying this is like all ECW bad. So,
Was ECW ever this bad?
I never seen most of all ECW, so I don't know. But
I thought they were at least like edgy when they did this kind of thing.
I think that's what he was going for, but it just didn't come off, did it?
No, it was just really bland.
Maybe you would imagine Vince is still giving the final say on things.
Oh yeah.
Maybe what he wanted was something else, but this is the watered down Vince McMahon version.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, Vince has the final say. You gotta keep that in mind.
Yeah, definitely. Just show you gift there.
Thank you, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It was, had I seen it live, I probably would have been upset. I would have just been like, why not just use Sonya Deville if you're going to go this way? Why ruin the return of Liv Morgan?
Mm-hmm.
You know? Why blow it on that? If you ask me. But, I don't run the show, so what can I tell you?
As said in the chat there, most of it was quite good, apart from that bit. The Buddy Murphy Alistair Black match was really good.
Face.
Yeah, the Buddy Murphy Alistair Black match was really good. I thought. Yeah, that last bit just ruined everything.
This person says, Katie Vick is trending. That's how awful Lashley and Lana of Raw was. And there it was right there, yeah. That's crazy.
Well,
I don't know if I would go that far.
It wasn't even like a similar thing. So that is just people saying this is as bad as the time they did the Katie Vick angle.
yeah.
That many people all thought this is so bad, I'm going to compare it to the famously bad thing.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Where do you go from here? How do you start Raw of 2020?
Brock's back.
After that,
Brock's back on Monday.
You just forget all this happened. Hey, Brock Lesnar's here.
Start the show off with Vince sat down with like a grey background behind him, going saying, "We here at World Wrestling Entertainment try to bring you the greatest." I don't know. What did he do that for?
I don't know.
To fill time.
What he did it for?
What, when he did the announcement of a cure for the common show back in '97, where he finally said, "We are entertainment. We're not going to insult your intelligence anymore."
Oh my
God. Oh yeah, that was
That's a joke.
I thought you meant to when he brought the NWO in.
Oh, that. I'm going to kill what I created.
when he sat in a chair that had the NWO logo on the back of it.
Yeah. Spun around on it. Why did he have an NWO chair? Why do they have office chairs, Bryan?
I was just going to say, that was quick merch. It's not even been announced in WWE, and you've already got one of the chairs.
I think that, I mean, as much as it sounds daft, I think we will be slowly led to forget about what's happened in the last couple of weeks. And we're getting into the Rumble now, and it's Mania season, so it'll get a lot more serious.
I hope so.
The trouble is I think I've said this every year for like the last 4 or 5 years, where you kind of get excited thinking that you're going into WrestleMania season, and it's been absolute garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it never really picked up last year, did it? I remember thinking that at the time, like, surely something's going to happen soon.
Because you
We're going
kept
to get some
thinking,
big angle.
especially when it was like the Raws and Smackdowns leading up to Mania, when you had no more pay-per-views and you knew that they had to make matches, and you think this is going to be quite good, and it was just like, wow, no,
There's just nothing here. And we were talking about this last week, Beans, when you went here.
yeah, when I
midweek.
skived off, apparently, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you really did. We were talking about like what are you thinking is going to happen at WrestleMania now? What's the big matches? What are the title matches? Sure, by now we usually have some idea. Last year, I think we kind of knew that Seth Rollins was going. We knew that there was going to be Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey. This year, nothing.
I think the only thing you can hope for that's a big marquee thing is CM Punk.
I would say it's a guarantee.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's a guarantee, but I'm just thinking if you're thinking of something that's going to be a head-turner kind of thing, then that's the only thing I can think of.
What would a Fox employee be doing at a WWE event?
Well, I think by that point he won't just be a Fox employee, you see.
I don't know.
I think he'll also be an independent contractor with a shitload of Z-Packs.
God.
I can't find the report, but I read a report yesterday. And apparently we're not the only ones that don't know what's happening at Mania, because neither did WWE.
I believe it.
The reports basically read along the lines of that normally by now, weeks in front of the Rumble, they'd know at least the main events. But the guy was saying nothing's set in stone yet, but there's nothing being confirmed. And he said it has been like this for years, and no one really knows what's going on.
It's weird that, like, usually we have some idea of where they're going. This year, not only do I not know where they're going, I don't even think I want to see anything. Maybe Lesnar and Samoa Joe again. That's about it.
The other thing I can think of is they're probably going to try and go with another like Daniel Bryan thing again, I suppose.
What,
Daniel Bryan, he's feuding with the Fiend now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. The Twitter account WrestleVotes talked to a source over the holidays she'd been with WWE for 10 plus years. She said they can't remember a January where so little of the WrestleMania cards being decided upon. She said it's both refreshing as WWE keep multiple options open, but frustrating at the same time. It must be frustrating because they don't know what to book.
Mm.
So, I mean,
well, if they haven't got anything planned and they haven't got anything in place, then I think CM Punk can add another 0 on the end of his check.
Well, what do you do with Punk? Punk comes back and then he works with who? Triple H.
Triple H. Yeah.
So we joked about on Wednesday.
God.
But it is, unfortunately, it's like that's what they're going to have to do first.
But even Punk doesn't want that. Punk walked out because of that.
Exactly, yeah. It's stupid. It's like the one thing that he wants is that main event at Mania. But he ain't going to have it against Triple H.
I don't know, throw enough money at him, he'll do it.
Unless he comes back before a Mania and does the Triple H thing, gets it out of the way, and then gets his run.
I think they'd save the return for Mania like they did with Daniel Bryan. Maybe like Daniel Bryan, they'd put him in a tag match. They'd find some way to kill it. They'd like have him teaming up with Buddy Murphy or something.
Well, they're building Sheamus up again, aren't they? Maybe that's Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan, yeah.
They'll play that video from WrestleMania 20 where Vince says and it all begins again.
18 seconds.
Did you see Punk tweeted out a screen of the Mania 35 card, the original card.
Oh, I saw something. Yeah, because it had him and Triple H and Sheamus and Bryan on it, didn't it?
Yeah.
And Randy Orton and Batista in the main event for the title.
Yeah. Big Show versus Kane. Wow. There's a money spinner.
Trying to pull it up here if I can find it.
Yeah, I'm digging through his Twitter here.
It was on his not Instagram. What's the other one?
Snapchat.
Yeah, that's Snapchat. That's the one.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
That's
Never mind.
There's the link there too if you want to throw it up.
WrestleMania 30 could have looked like.
I said 35 for, isn't it? Sorry, 30.
So yeah, Batista, Randy Orton. That's before everything went wrong. Daniel Bryan, Sheamus, still going with it.
Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose, United States Championship.
Okay.
Wow. Big Show versus Kane. The fuck? Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose for the United States title.
So instead of that, we had the Shield beating Kane and the New Age Outlaws, and Big Show was in the Battle Royal, eliminated by Cesaro.
So, when you read that, though, it's nice to see that no matter what, even in what happened and what was scheduled to happen, they were still going to fuck over Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Cena match is always going to happen.
I haven't seen any AEW this week, and NXT recorded, wasn't it, the awards? So, AEW any good?
I'm sorry, say that again. Sorry, I got
AEW any good this week? I know NXT recorded, wasn't it? So,
yeah, they got the upper hand in the ratings. AEW was from that Daly's place down in Jacksonville. From I never remember the fucking name of that event.
Fight for the
Fallen. I keep wanting to say Fighter Fest, and I'm like, no, that
was the other one.
That was the other one. Yeah, that was the video game tournament. Yeah, Fight for the Fallen. Yeah, it was pretty good. I personally, I like the action. I think AEW's storytelling needs a bit more work. Great to see Arn Anderson. I don't know why Cody Rhodes, at this point in his career, who can't challenge for the AEW title, needs somebody like an Arn Anderson in his corner, but hey, I'm all for it. Not a fan of Adam Page now being a drunk.
really?
Yeah, and that's what they're making it seem like. He's probably going to exit the Elite. Because
Did he already leave?
I don't know.
He announced that he was leaving ages ago, but it was on Being the Elite, so no one knows about it.
Exactly, because they don't hype that shit up on TV.
No.
Yeah, Michael Nakazawa, after being kidnapped by Pac a couple of weeks ago, just magically backstage, safe and sound, all fine and dandy.
Mm-hmm.
No reason given whatsoever. Kip Sabian's upset at Joey Janela for something, to the point where Penelope Ford hit him with a low blow backstage.
That wasn't explained either.
Nope. Dark Order, after decimating the entire Elite group 2 weeks ago, nowhere to be seen after Lucha Bros took the loss to Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. That's where they were just trying to put over the fact that Adam Page is now like their version of Scott Hall. I feel.
He's a cowboy.
Don't
shit.
let him near a Titan, Sean.
The Tonytron, yeah.
Tonytron. Yeah, this was a show.
Yeah.
Some stuff happened, and yep.
Yeah, sorry. It's just, yeah. I wasn't a fan of it, but apparently a lot of people were, and a lot of people tuned in. So there you go.
It was fine. I wasn't, as far as I can remember, at least I wasn't bored by it. That's all I can ask for these days.
Yeah. So yeah.
What about SmackDown? I haven't seen SmackDown yet. It was only last night. And today's Saturday, so I've got other stuff going on.
Mhm.
But I did see one headline somewhere on like Google Assistant or something that says superstars make their return on SmackDown. So I'm guessing that's the Usos, but I don't know for sure.
Is that your final answer?
That would be my final answer.
You would
yeah.
be correct. Ding, 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 ding.
They weren't the only ones, really. I've seen someone else as well.
Wasn't like I saw a photo of like Roman, the Usos, and Tamina Snuka all backstage or something, with like the family as like part of their name for their group.
No, I saw someone in the ring as well. I won't spoil.
Oh, you can say who it is.
That's right. It
Oh, you
happened
mean-
yesterday.
Oh, you mean Sheamus, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he's actually there now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he made his return and beat the shit out of Shorty G.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
He didn't, did he?
Apparently, Chad Gable, aka Shorty G, defeated Dash Wilder before Sheamus made an emphatic return. Is what the.
Oh, for God's sakes, we come back doing his old gimmick of I've got to kill all the small people.
Yep.
So G actually won a match and then had to get beaten up, so it didn't mean anything.
That's the way it worked.
That is the way it worked.
Let's see.
We give you this on one hand and take it away with the other.
Yeah, he got him with the ankle lock.
Yeah.
There was somebody else as well who was seen very briefly. Who was expected to be coming back.
Oh yeah. Also, John Morrison had like
Yeah.
a backstage interview, and that was it.
Ah, I thought they'd save him for the Rumble.
You would think.
I did
Well,
think.
A backstage interview.
Yeah.
He come out of the Miz's dressing room.
That's bogus, bro.
Probably just
I'm
wanted to say
saying-
hi. Or he wanted to kick him out because he spilled like chicken crumbs in his luggage.
I think it was a few weeks ago I did say that he might get back into a team at the Miz.
You did?
Just saying. Yeah, I thought they'd save him for the Rumble, to be honest. I think that they'd just do something like that, but who knows what to do in these days. It's only even
They
well,
don't want to.
they don't know.
Also, what else here? Sorry, I'm like distracted by like 5 million things here. Braun Strowman defeated Cesaro. What a shock. Otis defeated Drew Gulak, and then apparently Otis and Mandy had some sort of a segment backstage where I guess Otis was upset with Ziggler smashing his mom's fruitcake. That's a sentence I never thought I'd say. Beans, when you go back, enjoy watching that. Kofi Kingston defeated The Miz, which had a distraction, I think, by The Fiend somewhere in that, which made Miz freak out, I believe. And Lacey Evans and Dana Brooke defeated Sasha Banks and Bayley and Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross.
What? Why?
know. I'm guessing Lacey needed the upper hand to, to when Sasha was like messing with Lacey's daughter in the crowd.
Dana Brooke, though.
Yeah, what about her?
She's winning now.
Good.
Is it?
I mean, I don't mind her.
That's what happens when you start getting tips from Blue Teaster.
I guess, yeah. They gotta build her up.
Doesn't walk alone anymore.
They gotta build her up now that she's like dating Batista. That WWE still wants a vested interest in, probably, or at least for the Hall of Fame, I guess. Yeah. So that was pretty much SmackDown. I didn't watch it, and from the sounds of the main event, I'm glad I didn't watch it because I don't really care about the Usos, let alone Roman Reigns. So.
It's good to hear that they're back on the road, though, as it were.
Not sure that's a good phrase to use with the Usos.
That's deliberate use of that phrase. I knew exactly what I was doing. No Naomi yet.
Yeah. Sorry. Apparently, YouTube just signed me out. I don't know why. Ed was talking about cocaine when we were talking about like drinks with Coke and Pepsi and whatnot, and I put a single rice emoji into the chat, and apparently that was enough for it to sign me out for some reason. I don't understand why.
You've just been banned from YouTube, haven't you?
I know, right? Like all of a sudden, just one emoji apparently is enough for YouTube to be like, "You're done."
Not even on the air
anymore.
Rice.
Yeah. Incredible. So that kind of threw me for a loop. I had to like re-sign in the chat, and now when I go back and I scroll up, the rice emoji is now like this weird. It's like a weird like text of a cup. It looks like here. I don't know if I can throw it up on the stream here. It's gonna be. Yeah.
I still see it. It's just rice.
It looks like rice over there, but on my screen, it's like that weird. It's like a bowl. Here, let me pause this.
I need to see this bowl.
Yeah, let me pause this so it doesn't like create an infinite loop.
Oh yeah, what the hell's going on there?
Yeah, I don't know.
What's happened?
It's like turned into a plain text kind of emoji instead of like a animated one, you know?
Weird. All I did was do this for rice. I don't want to do it again because I don't want YouTube to get like, mad at me.
If I do it, then I assume it's like that. Yeah. Does that show up looking right?
Yeah, that's what showed up initially, and now after it signed me out and then a refresh of the page, it just shows it as like a plain text thing. What the fuck, YouTube? What the hell? What are you doing to me here?
I wonder if I get signed out now.
I know, right? Just a singular emoji?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know what's going on.
Either way, yeah. So that was pretty much your wrestling of the week. Anything you guys want to add? I mean, if there's any other news things, I think it was kind of like a quiet week.
I want Beans' predictions for 2020 and beyond.
Oh, here we go.
Before we get to them, sorry, I've got a crazy story of the week.
Go ahead.
Need a jingle for that. Does anyone know what Sin Cara's been up to lately?
I know he went to Mexico and he kept using the Sin Cara name even though he wasn't allowed to.
Oh, it's much more strange than that.
What's he done now?
He is now the Director of International Development for Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Wait, what?
It's that way that guy had the mask on.
Yeah, he's a big fan of Wolves.
Was that actually him then? I watched a Wolves game, I don't know, like a weekend or two ago, and there was a guy that they showed in the crowd wearing a lucha mask.
Probably
I
him.
think I saw that.
I thought it was just a guy. There's a wrestling fan.
We played them tonight as well. Mind you, I was watching it, but wishing I wasn't, so I probably missed anything important.
Wolverhampton Wanderers have the pleasure of announcing Cinta de Oro, I'm guessing that's his real name, as the Director of International Development.
His real name.
As of January 1st, 2020, his duties include searching for talent, alliances with football schools, and scouting for new international figures for the future of Wolverhampton Wanderers. We trust in his ability as a high-caliber athlete. His deep involvement with football could be beneficial in this aspect of his career. Yeah, there you go.
Does it have a little asterisk next to it, and it says at the bottom, please note that this is a volunteer, non-paid role?
It does add, and you'll like this, Chuck. Wolves are currently sitting in 7th place in the Premier League and pulled off a recent upset victory against Manchester City.
Yeah, yes they did.
Well, everyone's beating these days, aren't they? To be honest.
Yeah. We managed to scrape by Port Vale, though. So apparently this goes back a way, because here's Raul Jimenez using the mask in April this year, or last year.
I remember, was it when they got to the cup final, whenever that was? Last year before?
Semis, I think. And
semis, that's right, it was Wembley, yeah. That Jimenez scored, and they had the mask behind the goal.
Right, that's it, yeah.
He put it on.
So, I don't know. This goes back a way, this Sin Cara thing.
Also, that's a very good observation. He pointed out that Moxley wrecked Lance Archer this morning in Wrestle Kingdom, where before we went live, we were discussing the credentials, because apparently Renee Young's over there as well, and she has a little ID card, and we were trying to figure out what these little symbols that were crossed out were on her little pennant here. And it looks like that one's a microphone. The second one right there, there's no microphones above the steel chairs. You can't get in. You can't bring a wrestling ring. Can't use a laptop. Can't use a baseball diamond. No rectangles. No camera. But you can have chairs and a bouquet of flowers.
Yeah.
So that's all the access shit she's allowed to have over there. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah. Not seeing too many things. Apparently, Jim Cornette's threatening some person on Twitter. Okay. Jericho says the AEW title is just a prop. Yeah, pretty much. That's what wrestling titles are nowadays, are props. The Dusty Rhodes Classic. That's getting...
it's coming back.
It's coming back, yeah, for the tag teams.
That's good. They need some more legit tag teams in NXT now. All the good ones got called up.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's about it, really. I don't know if you guys want to... Anything else want to throw out there? Not sure.
Give us some bold predictions, Beans.
Here we go. Yeah.
See what you got.
Here we go.
What have you got a list of things to ask me?
We should make a list. Actually, we didn't do it on Wednesday.
We should make a list and check it twice. I know I had Steve Austin comes back for Saudi Arabia this year.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I think it could happen. Maybe it's going to be the Goldberg match. What else did we say? I didn't get the Edge's return. I guess that's one that's been rumored a lot.
Yeah, that's a good one, actually. I've got CM Punk at Mania in some fashion.
Yeah.
I already forgot mine.
Yeah, I think he'll be the host of WrestleMania this year.
I did clarify in active wrestling capacity.
Yeah, I forgot what mine was. I'll have to go back and listen.
It wasn't really a prediction, but I'd said that I think Lesnar and The Fiend are retaining to WrestleMania.
Yeah, and I could see that happening.
Yeah. That's not an especially bold prediction, though. So, I don't know. What have you got for us? Give us something kind of crazy.
Oh God! Right. So I didn't realize it was a an open, can't even think of the right word.
Yeah, it's just anything that you think could maybe happen.
WWE announces that WrestleMania will be in the UK before WrestleMania 40.
Oh, that's a good one. Before WrestleMania 40 now. That's your.
Well, that's
your
what
revised.
I said originally.
You said 34. Are you going to give me 300 quid if it doesn't happen again?
Yeah.
Oh!
I like the fact that you said again, because I never gave it you the first
Oh.
time.
No, you
around,
did
but
give
it made it sound like I did.
But this time it's going to happen.
I'll do exactly the same as last time.
Will, I'm gonna need you to have to like retitle this episode to where it's like Beans promises Chuck's 300 quid if his prediction comes true or something.
Fair enough.
The 300-pound
So
bet.
that we can come back and 10 years time and see what happens. It's like, hey, wait a minute.
I'm trying to actually think, because it's been that kind of like just bland, hasn't it? I mean, I don't know. It's just, I don't think there's, like you said, even matchup wise, when you think there just isn't dream matches that are out there.
No.
And I suppose that'll only develop over time with like AEW, and when they start building stars that you want to see someone from WWE versus someone from AEW, I suppose. But
I'm going to make a Hall of Fame prediction. The Rock.
for when?
This year.
Give over. They've already announced Batista and...
They're not the headlines.
Oh, they
Batista's
are.
the headline.
The
No.
Rock.
They always announce one, and it's always the headline, the first one. The rest of them are all...
They only announced them because they got leaked by TMZ. So, they're gonna do the Rock announcement themselves.
The Rock
They
quietly
never do any
retired,
announcement
though.
themselves anymore.
Yeah.
They'll get BT Sport to announce it.
No, I don't think the Rock. I think Beans is right on that one. Batista's the headliner. Rock will be on his own year. Maybe next year. Could be next year. But
Hall of Fame.
yeah, I think he's too big to go alongside Batista. Batista's a huge name too.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't know.
Have you discussed about Hall of Fame and
Not
the
really.
wonders
No.
of a certain Mr. Hulk Hogan becoming a two-time Hall of Famer?
Oh, Jesus.
There's a lot of two-timers now.
Who gives a fuck?
And Scott Hall.
Who gives a
Yeah.
fuck about Hulk Hogan getting a second Hall of Fame ring?
Well,
We did. Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, it's like, everyone was arguing about whether he should be on TV and whether he should be back in the company after things that has happened.
Yeah.
And not only is he now back, he's now being honoured again.
Yeah. I don't care for Hulk Hogan. Ed's got a good point, though. What a world we were living in when Sean Waltman is a back-to-back Hall of Famer.
Yeah, right.
That's a very good take.
Oh, God, yeah, he's going to be a double Hall of Famer, isn't he?
Yeah.
But like 2 straight years, he was DX and NWO. He's, yeah.
It's a strange one, isn't it? Because you think of all the people that haven't even been in once, and then you've got people like that. No offense, but there's going to be questions asked, isn't it, when you think that there's other people that you want to be in there, and people are getting the honour twice.
What?
Yeah, but...
X-Pac's in twice and The Rock isn't in it all yet. I see. See what you mean. Maybe you can go in next year as well as part of like X Factor or something.
Oh my God.
Hat-trick of
The
the
band.
Cracker.
Was he in the band?
The band. Oh, I forgot
think
about
he
that
was.
from TNA. No, I don't think he was. But that would be great. But honestly, they need to come up with some like new people. Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like, just the fact that we're getting like the same old like repeat folks going in, like especially with like again Sean Maltman back to back. Come on, there's got to be like other folks that can like fill a spot here and there before you start like repeating. You know?
Well, who else was big in the Attitude Era? Who's big enough? Yeah, I mean, there's Big Show. Big Show can go. Gangrel.
Yeah. Gangrel.
Kane.
Naked Midian.
Kane
Should definitely go in.
Naked
Undertaker has
Midian.
How many times could you put Undertaker in? You could put him in as himself, as the Ministry.
Yeah.
American Badass.
American, yes.
Kane should go in and have Glenn Jacobs can induct him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he can come out as Kane and then take the mask off his corporate Kane.
Yeah, there you go.
Gilbert? I don't think Gilbert's going.
Jeez,
With the Hardys, I suppose you still put the Hardys and the Dudleys.
Spike Dudley.
Spike Dudley. Yeah, all of the Dudleys. Signed Dudley has to. Dudley.
Yeah.
There's a few people that they could put in that would be like. It'd be one of them where you'd be like, "Oh, right, that's nice." It's not something that's like groundbreaking or anything, but to be fair, they're still part of an era that
I still think
we remember them, don't we?
I still think they should have put Jim Johnson in.
Yeah.
That's a good shout. Yeah.
It's too late now.
There's a line though. You don't want to be putting in like Al Snow.
No, God no.
Like Val Venus, probably not.
No, they shouldn't put Al Snow in, but they should put Head in.
That's what everybody wants.
Okay, well, anything else? I think that's it. Honestly.
I'm trying to think of a wild prediction, but I'm really
How
not.
about some 2019 best ofs? What's your match of the year, wrestler of the year?
Oh yeah.
Just a couple of positives from the last year.
Fucking hell, I can't even remember anything that happened last week. Never mind last fucking 12 months. Well, to be fair, it has been a pretty. I mean, shows haven't been horrendous. They're like, they've got good wrestling on, but I don't think there's been a lot that's massively memorable.
I think we said on Wednesday, didn't we, Chuck? I think a lot of the stuff we probably haven't talked about, like Japan and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think it was going WWE-wise. I think the introduction of The Fiend at SummerSlam was quite a cool moment.
Yeah.
Matches.
It's a really difficult one. WWE match of the year is.
Well, I'm even just thinking like Mania, just to kind of get an idea of what was going on around the time. But the
Mania was just crap, wasn't it? Was there anything
women's
good?
main event didn't really deliver.
No, it really didn't.
Arguably ended Ronda Rousey's career for the most part. For the time being. I could be wrong on that. Until she makes her re-debut.
So she finally has that baby.
Yeah.
I seriously, I am trying to think of matches. If you're going to say best ofs and that, the only thing I can think of is your NXT matches, really. But again, I mean, you're spoiled for choice on that kind of thing.
That's the same conclusion we came to. It's like Gargano and Cole had a few takeover matches, and they were all good. So that's probably one of them.
Yeah, I think the first one of that, what I saw, was one that really stood out.
And then AEW's been really, that's the most memorable thing. I think their pay-per-views and their TV stands out a lot more.
See, I have an issue with AEW in the fact that I know that it's not a bad product by any means, but I also don't feel like I'm liking many of the characters.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that.
Yeah.
And I'm not 100% on all the Jimmy Havoc's and Darby Allin's and John Moxley, you know, all the hardcore stuff. I didn't get the idea between Moxley and Kenny Omega having such a brutal and sick match at Full Gear. I was like, I could understand it if it was the end of a feud that had been going on for months.
That whole Full Gear card seemed rushed to me. That was like a 6 months down the line payoff show. It's the same thing with Cody. Why did he? That was the first match against Jericho. He says, "If I lose this one, I'm never challenging again, ever." That's you build up to that, surely. They jumped straight in first match.
Yeah.
Your complaints sound very similar to ours from last week. We said much the same thing.
I'm sure there's been plenty of matches that are really good. It's just it's got that lost in the ether that it just.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a good few Cesaro and Aleister Black matches in there as well somewhere. But
Aleister Black, Buddy Murphy. Mine was Cody and Dustin from that. Was it Double or Nothing? I think they had that match. Yeah. That was my match of the year. At least of matches I've seen.
I'm trying to think of some of the other pay-per-views. I mean, I don't even know what was the main event of SummerSlam.
Was it The Fiend?
Yeah, did you just say The Fiend?
No, it was in the middle of the card, wasn't it? Because the SummerSlam one weren't that.
Oh, Rollins Lesnar.
Oh god, yeah, it was the second Mania rematch, wasn't it? Crikey. Yeah.
The Fiend, Bray Wyatt defeated Finn Balor. Yeah, that was before the red lighting, I believe. I think. Ugh.
Yeah, so not really that much to say.
Yeah.
Who would be your superstar of the year?
Oh.
And then we'll get out of here with that.
Oh God.
Or of the decade. How about that?
Of the decade? Just to make it easier.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. This show's going to go on for another hour. I don't know. I'm trying to think in the last 12 months. See, it depends what... things that excite me and ones that I'm interested in seeing more of, I would say Buddy Murphy. And as stupid as a gimmick as a giving, Shorty G deserves so much more. He's had so many matches where you watch it and you just think, how on earth are they not using this guy in a different way?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
No, you're not wrong. I don't know who he pissed off backstage, but man.
He had the audacity to be short.
Yeah, right?
He was short in the presence of Vince McMahon. You don't come back from that.
But I mean, I'm even just trying to think of superstars that are main ones at the moment. Like Seth Rollins, I mean, obviously is taking Roman Reigns' spot. I mean, really. Yeah. And it's he's told the company line online, and it's obviously all ended up being part of the character. But even match-wise, I don't think there's been particular matches that have jumped out. I've not been fond of the Lesnar matches and the way they approach them. Kevin Owens, they've only just started kind of getting behind. Nothing has come of it yet, in my eyes. AJ Styles has just fallen off the face of the earth in any meaningful stories. I know he's got this thing with Randy at the moment, but it just, when you think what he was like when he was champion, you knew that each of the shows there was going to be a decent title match. Nakamura's still doing nothing. Sami Zayn's obviously involved. Baron Corbin's been pushed down our throats, God knows how much.
Yes,
Roman Reigns.
I did say last week, or rather on Wednesday, if CM Punk came back, he would probably face Baron Corbin.
Oh, God. Oh, that's depressing.
Yeah, but seems kind of likely. I think we agreed on Jericho, right, as our Wrestler of the Year. Kind of most important.
I'll go for that.
Yeah. And arguably for the decade.
Yeah.
I think, was it Smoot you said for the decade?
I said CM Punk for the decade.
Ah, see, that's right, you did. That was a controversial one.
Yeah.
See, now, yeah, I think I'd lean with you on CM Punk, really. Because I mean,
He quit in 2014.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
He had 3 great years.
And they sort of came back 5 years later. Chuck,
how many years was Austin at the top?
Austin was at the top about that
98
years
until 2001.
No, he won the Rumble in 97. He was still something back then.
Yeah, but he wasn't the character
up,
that, you know, like, I mean, he was, but I mean, he wasn't getting the following that.
I'd say 97 to 03, prime Austin. Although he took a year out for the next.
I was just going to say, he took a year out in 99, and he only had like 2 matches in 03.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, his time was pretty short back in the day when there was like a 5-year rotation period, and with Cena we had a whole lost generation.
Can I say my Wrestler of the Decade, Shawn Michaels?
Oh no!
Retired in 2010. And he had 1 match last year. Oh.
He was the MVP in that match. That match was terrible, except for him.
No.
Right.
But it's Shawn Michaels, so can't argue.
Still can't believe I watched that bald man's head bounce off the floor.
You alright, Will?
Yeah,
killed him.
Oh, man.
Just about.
Alright, well, on that note, I think that...
Yeah.
It's like,
get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here. Yeah, we'll be back next week with another episode of the IWC Radio podcast. Yeah, hopefully you'll tune in. I don't know. I'm gonna try to like make it through a Raw, where it's like, even though it's dismal, but I'm gonna try to like stay awake.
I can't believe that's like a challenge now.
It is wrong, isn't it? I mean, like, God, do you remember the days when you used to really be buzzing and watching Raw? Like,
Yeah.
want to see what happens next?
Yeah, and it's just
I know it's slowly been drained from you.
barely like people on my timeline tweet about it now. It's really depressing. Like I usually get more activity with AEW than WWE these days.
Really?
Yeah. But yeah, we'll be back next week. Rumble's what, on the 20th or something like that? 20-something?
26th.
27th.
28.
So we got plenty of time from now till then for the prediction game. Yeah, see you then. Have a great one, everybody. Have a good weekend, and take care.
Bye-bye.